550 bhp, 300 bhp, less than 100 bhp, front wheel drive, rear wheel drive, four wheel drive. We've got just about every kind of car you can get here, but each one that will excite the enthusiast out there. We are here for the Autocar Trackday, an annual pilgrimage for all of us here, and I'm sure a lot of you look forward to this as well. And of course, something that's very close to my heart, the motorcycles we've got on hand. Some really exciting hardware, some really hard battles that I've been looking forward to, and of course they're going to be handed over to the best hands that we can find here in India, and they're going to show us what they're really capable of. The 11 cars at the MMSC are battling for pride. Lamborghini's Gallardo is fighting for Italian honor, while Jaguar's XKR-S is defending British honor. Then there's the German contingent. They have super saloons like BMW's 552 bhp M5 and Audi's S4 with 328 bhp. BMW also has a diesel contender with the 640D. And then there's the all-new 3 Series in its 328i version. The British icon with the German genetics is the Mini Cooper in its 181 bhp Cooper S form. Then there are the two tin-top racers, the German Volkswagen Polo R Cup car and the Japanese Etios Motor Racer. When Narain Karthikeyan, the fastest Indian, stepped into the pit lane at the MMSC, he came in straight from the Hungaro ring. And the question that was going to be answered first was about the Japanese superiority, specifically Honda versus Suzuki. In this case, Honda's Brio versus Maruti Suzuki's Swift. Which one would be faster around this 3.7 kilometer circuit? First up, the Honda. The Brio weighs 925 kilos and is powered by an 88 bhp 1.2 litre petrol motor. This little runabout impressed Narain a lot.
Like a Honda, you know, it's a nice high free-revving engine, really nice feel to the steering wheel, you feel the car a lot, and handles pretty well, doesn't roll so much, so I'm quite impressed with this car.
And despite the skinny tires, the Brio set an impressive time of 2 minutes 18.45 seconds. Now, would Maruti Suzuki's new Swift be able to hold on to its hot hatch heritage? For the record, the Swift is 65 kilos heavier than the Brio and has a slight power disadvantage as well. How would this affect its performance out on the track? As it turned out, not too well.
For a run around and for a small car it's okay, but as a driver's car I don't think you can, it's not in the same league as the Brio. It lacks the feel, it lacks the stiffness and of the Brio, and the engine as well is not as happy high revving as the Honda.
And Narain's hot lap in the Swift was good for 2 minutes 19.3 seconds. It was quite clear that the winner here was the Honda. The next car is also front-wheel drive. It is also a hatch, but it doubles the bhp levels. It's the iconic hot hatch, the Mini Cooper S. Out on the track, the Mini didn't disappoint Narain at all.
You know, it has all the stiffness of a proper track car, and behaves more like a go-kart, very direct steering and so on. A lot of grip, nice engine. The gearbox is a little bit slack, a little bit slow on the downshifts, and for the racetrack, you want want the gears to hold in certain drives, and it doesn't do so. It either jumps a gear or shifts down on its own. So that's a little bit disappointing.
And it wasn't just because of the gearbox that Narain wasn't thrilled with the Cooper S's time of 2 minutes 7.8 seconds.
I think we had a little bit of an issue with the tires here. The lap time is not representative, so it could have been a lot quicker.
So, would the mini shredded tires give BMW's new 328i a big advantage? This four-door saloon is bigger. It's nearly 300 kilos heavier, but it does have a 60 bhp advantage. It also has BMW's latest engineering at its disposal. We were all kept guessing, but it was plain to Narain that the 3 Series wasn't as much fun as the Mini, but it had its BMW-ness intact.
Carries over the fun aspect of driving from the previous platform, so they've kept that in mind. The F30 platform seems to be a little bit more stiffer, and what the result is, better performance on the track, I would say. The gearbox is a step forward from the previous generation.
However, the F30 suspension didn't feel resolved.
This car has, it feels like you're going into the bump stop too much. It's kind of bouncy.
A quick inspection showed that the car came with its transport bump stops still in place on the rear suspension. So it was really impressive that the new F30 3 Series set a time of 2 minutes 5.7 seconds. That's nearly 2 seconds clear of the Mini. With the 3 Series odd suspension explained, Narain hopped into BMW's big Grand Tourer, the 640D. A diesel-powered Grand Tourer on a racetrack. That sounds odd. Its 3-litre motor and its 313 bhp of power doesn't sound very exciting either. Well, we certainly weren't expecting fireworks. But the 640D sprung a huge surprise.
Not much is wrong. I mean, it's a great car. The diesel engine puts out a lot of torque. It's so drivable, and not only performance, but even in like in 8th gear, it has a lot of torque to pull you through. For agility wise, for a heavy car, it's fantastic. You feel the weight of the car in the tight corners, but in the smooth flowing corners, it's quite nice.
And a lap time of 2 minutes 1.9 seconds was ample proof of this Grand Tourer's superb dynamic abilities. The 640D's time was proved to be all the more impressive as it was just half a second slower than the Super Saloon from Ingolstadt. The 328 bhp supercharged motor on the S4 was ready to tear up the track, but the Quattro system kept Narain from exploiting all that power.
Tuned in a lot of understeer into the car, so from a fun aspect, well, it's not quite up there for me. It is not Audi sport sedan. I like the engine is fantastic as well. So overall, it's a very good package. Ultimate fun factor, not quite there, but it's a nice car.
Nice. Now that's not a word that's used very often for a 328 bhp car. And it's definitely not used for BMW's 552 bhp M5. This 4-door saloon is a beast. But can a near 2-ton saloon with a turbocharged V8 and only rear-wheel drive really set a competitive lap time? The answer came very quickly. Narain set a scorching time of 1 minute 57.1 seconds. But it wasn't the searing pace of the M5 that got NK's attention.
I love this car, just because you could go sideways for miles, and it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of fun factor to it. I definitely missed the high revving V10, the noise. This car is a little bit quiet because of its the nature of the V8 turbocharged and so on. But nevertheless, they've kept the essence of the M, and they've. I would say it's a step forward from the chassis point of view, and yeah, it's brilliant. It's nice stuff, and yeah, if you know what you're doing, then it's mega fun. If you don't, then you'll wrap around a tree somewhere.
We were left wondering how the last two cars would match up. Find out how these two cars fare against the BMW M5 and also check out the two tin top racers after this break. Welcome back to the Autocar Show's Hunt for the Best Driver's Car 2012. With 7 cars tested, it's now time to take a break from the road cars.
Now we're moving on to the tin top racers. We've got 2 new cars for 2012. The ETOS Motor Racing Series ETOS car, of course, and the Polo Cup TSI.
Toyota's ETOS Racer is pretty much a standard car. The engine is unchanged and it even uses the same 5-speed gearbox. The only difference is a free-flow exhaust. So power can only be marginally higher than the stock 89 bhp. But on the racetrack, the sticky MRF rubber and the tuned suspension make a whopping difference. Narain's best time of 2 minutes 3.8 seconds was faster than any time recorded during the preceding race weekend. And although they can't really be compared, the ETOS motor race car is nearly 2 seconds quicker than a BMW 328i.
Well put together, very safe. They have all the nice safety bits on the car, proper seats, roll cage, and so on. But it's overtired and underpowered, as they say. So a lot of grip. You can never go wrong. You can never get into a uncontrollable moment. It never goes sideways.
With that, it was time to move up a notch to the high-tech Polo R Cup car. This Polo features a state-of-the-art petrol motor which has a turbocharger and a supercharger and a dual-clutch gearbox. Narain found this 177 bhp car to be quite interesting.
The car is set up a little bit different. It seems to be, I don't know if the construction of the tires are different, but it seems to be a little more understeer than last year, I can remember. Compared to the ETOS, yeah, it's a little bit heavier. You feel the weight.
But the Polo R Cup car was good for a time of 2 minutes 0.75 seconds, making it 0.7 of a second faster than the Audi S4. It just goes to show what weight saving, slick tires and a sporty suspension setup can do out on a racetrack. Then it was time to bring our attention back to the top 2. The Jaguar XKR-S had the first go. Now the XKR-S might be able to acquit itself as a Grand Tourer thanks to its comfortable suspension. But that supercharged V8 stuffed in the XKR-S's nose is nasty. But since Narain drives it often, he was quite at ease with his 542 bhp.
The car scores here for comfort and also a lot of fun factor in it because you can go sideways till your heart's content, and so on. So again, with the XKR-S, there's been a huge jump in performance compared to the slower XKR.
Keeping the XKR's tail happy nature in check took a lot of skill. And the best time that Narain could manage was 1 minute 57.6 seconds, which meant that the XKR-S was half a second slower than BMW's 4-door M5. Then it was time for the final showdown. We let the Italian bull loose.
Time to beat has been set by BMW's M5, but can the Lambo
Top it! Take a look at this footage of Narain driving this two-wheel drive Lamborghini. It's epic. It shows what a beast the Gallardo was to tame. Trust me, this footage has not been speeded up. The suspension was actually that stiff and that bumpy. The gear shifts were that hard. And the Lambo was brutally quick and quite a handful.
You expect everything from a Lamborghini, Gallardo, and basically the level of grip is a little bit low because it's two-wheel drive, and the fun factor is a little bit high, but then your heartbeat also goes up considerably because it's very, very stiffly sprung, these cars, and it's a mid-engine car. So once it goes sideways, the inertia takes it all the way through, so it's quite easy to spin. But apart from that, great balance. This is probably the closest thing you'll get to a single-seater car, high-performance single-seater car. So if you're a racing driver like I am, then it's a lot of fun.
And when you are having fun, time just flies. With the Gallardo LP552, Narain was absolutely flying over the track. A best time of 1 minute 55.35 seconds put it nearly 2 seconds quicker than BMW's astonishing M5. Those were the superstars from the world of four wheels, but after this break, the action moves on to two wheels. Welcome back to the Autocar Show's Best Driver's Car. With the 11 cars tested, it was time to get down to two wheels. Ready to hit the track was Honda's brand new baby CBR, the CBR 150R. And hot in its pursuit is Yamaha's R15 version 2.0. Moving several rungs up the power ladder is Ducati's 848 Evo. And right on top of the list sits BMW's S1000RR. To push these bikes to the very limit, to extract the last tenth of performance out on the racetrack, there was only one man fit for the job, KRISHNAN RAJINI. India's fastest man on two wheels. Rajini has been one of the most successful motorcycle racers from the subcontinent, and his brand of experience and skill would be just the thing to get the best lap times from these machines. A lot of expectations were pinned on Yamaha's R15 version 2.0. Its retuned motor offers better performance lower in the rev range. A new swing arm, a new chassis setup and new tires result in a really stable motorcycle. Rajini was pushing the bike hard and came away very impressed with the Yamaha.
In performance wise, in engine wise, like handling wise, everything is better. Maybe specific on engine wise, very fast in R1.
Even though the Yamaha's 2 minutes 17-second lap time was blazing quick, Rajini couldn't help but compare it to the earlier R15.
Maybe the seating portion, the older version, this one, I think older version is very good.
But what really mattered was whether the CBR 150R could be faster than the Yamaha. The Honda's high-revving 150cc motor and its stiff suspension setup is really well suited to the racetrack. And Rajini was expecting a lot from the Honda. But overall, the Honda didn't live up to expectations.
CBR 150, I think, I like in seating portion, maybe a little bit handling also I like. And power ways, very poor, not that much impressed in power ways. And the pulling power very less, like engine power, the out of the corner, the most tight, it take very late. The R15 come quick.
As a result, the CBR couldn't quite get the power down as well as the Yamaha, and its lap time of 2 minutes 20.3 seconds was over 3 seconds slower. A clear victory for Yamaha. Then it was time to see how Ducati's baby superbike, the 848 Evo, would fare out on the racetrack. An L-twin motor with 140 bhp on tap and super sticky Pirelli tires promised scorching track performance. This Italian thoroughbred made a beautiful sound as it scorched across the track. The 849cc motor offered strong performance.
Yeah, engine wise, power wise very good. Maybe the power delivery also very good. The only struggle in the handling only, that's all.
But Rajini wasn't quite blown away.
I think so in the road wise and the look wise, everything very nice. Maybe in the track wise, it's okay.
The 848's lap time of 1 minute 53.3 seconds was not something to mock. But with BMW's S1000RR hitting the track right after it, you could be certain that the lap time was only going to be better. Rajini was quite kicked with this Beamer.
Engine character is very good, very powerful. In the mid corner also, you go on the very low RPM, suddenly it gives on the RPM. It's come very quickly RPM, the between the 6 to 8, 7, it's very quick. Suspension also very good.
But there was a problem in setting the lap time. This S1000RR develops 193 bhp at 13,000 rpm. But this showroom fresh motorcycle had a 9,000 rpm limiter on it. So Rajini had to short shift down the straights. Despite this handicap, the S1000RR set a time of 1 minute 52.8 seconds. Rajini felt that without the limiter and on sportier rubber, the lap time would drop by at least another 5 seconds. The track had been completely scorched with the 4 super hot bikes and the 11 super quick cars. It was an action-packed day, picking the fastest car and fastest bike of 2012. It's going to be a long wait until we can do it again in 2013.